What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, what the world is listening to. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity and C, and today we are covering All Elite Wrestling Collision live on November 11th, 2023 from Oakland, California. And we start the night with Daniel Garcia with Matt Menard and Angela Parker taking on Andrade El Idolo. However, before the match, Andrade comes out and CJ Perry is now Andrade's a manager. They agree to work. They agree to work together, and this is a great match. A lot of action. The end comes after Andrade applies a figure eight to Daniel, and Daniel taps out. After the match, CJ Perry hugs Andrade, and we see CJ's husband Miro watching backstage, and he's smiling. Interesting stuff here. Next, we have Dalton Castle with the boys taking on Nick Wayne with TNT champion Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Nick gets the win after Wayne's World, and Nick gets the victory here. After we see Adam Page backstage, and he has words for Swerve Strickland. Page says, "At Full Gear, I take you down into a fiery abyss for eternity, and you'll face me in a Texas death match. Take some time and look around your house. Look at pictures of your family and imagine every single moment that you could have had with them. I want you to know that you will never be there. Not while you can walk, not while you can talk, Swerve. Because at Full Gear, I take you to the bottom. I take you to the abyss. And every November, I'll walk with my son and I'll piss on your grave." Swerve Strickland, what could have been? Fiery promo there from Hangman Adam Page. Next, we have LFI's Roosh and Drelastico with Jose and Preston Vance taking on the Workhorsemen. The end comes when Roosh charges at Drake with the bull's horn and pins JD Drake, and LFI get the victory over the Workhorsemen here tonight. The House of Black are backstage. Malachi Black says, "Perhaps we have not been direct enough. How about we obtain the one thing that you desire the most in this company and make you chase us?" Brody King says, "Big Bill, Ricky Starks, the Kings of the Black Throne are coming for the AEW World Tag Team titles." And then Julia Hart says, "How about if I beat Will tonight on Collision? You, Chris Statlander, have to give me a rematch for the TBS title at Full Gear." Interesting stuff from the House of Black. We have Darius Martin with Action Andretti taking on Roderick Strong with the Kingdom. Roderick ends up nailing some beautiful maneuvers. Roderick hits Darius with a sidekick and then hits an end of heartache, getting the win. After the match, the Kingdom assaults Darius with the wiener punch and then a spike pile driver. Action Andretti runs to the ring, but the Kingdom runs off. The Kingdom getting the advantage over Darius Martin here tonight on Collision. Next, we have Willow Nightingale taking on Julia Hart with Brody King. Sky Blue is watching backstage. Julia hits Widow with a lariat to the back of the head and then nails a moonsault to get the win here over Willow Nightingale at Collision. Next, we have Alexander taking on Powerhouse Hobbs with Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher. Paul White joins the commentary team for this match. Hobbs gets the quick victory over Alexander, and then Don Callis grabs the mic. Callis says, "I have one thing to say. The Don Callis family is the greatest family in the history of pro wrestling. In just a few short days, the family will be involved in a street fight on Dynamite. Not too long enough, Will Hobbs broke Chris Jericho. So what did Jericho do? He found the last friend he had after I deserted him and picked up the phone and called the last friend, Mr. Paul White. And when Chris called, I'm sure Paul said, 'Anything you need, my friend.' Paul, I'm thinking you got shortchanged in the brain department because only an idiot would face a Don Callis family after what we've done to Omega, Jericho, and Ibushi. But Paul, it's not too late. Jericho is going to try to use you like he tried to use me. Paul, I'm a big fan of your work. It's not too late to pull the pin and leave Jericho hanging in the street fight. I see a scared giant. It's okay to be scared of me because I run things up in here. I think I might just have to do a little something here. I buried two giants in my career. I'm happy to do it a third. Will bury this fool. Will have taunts Paul White, but Paul White does not back down. And we're going to have a great match on Dynamite. Next, we have our trios main event. Sting, Darby Allin, and the Radar superstar Adam Copeland taking on the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer and the Righteous. A lot of back and forth action. The end comes when Sting splashes Vincent, and then Adam Copeland nails a spear to get the win for their team. After the match, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne walk out, and Christian Cage smiles at Copeland, Sting, and Darby. What a great edition of Collision, a lot of action. We have Full Gear on our way. With that, stay safe and stay uncensored.